Quantum Oneirophrenia. The quantum chimera prismatically dances upon the stags and sierras of theosophical mosques. Greenland erotic Arabic. The hermaphroditic magpie dovetails upon crannies and creeks made out of lavender lunar crater rakes. Zeniths of Zoroastrian cosmic clownfish. The Sagittarius seahorse sidereal upon chandeliers of bright pink mongooses. The honeysuckle breast of metametaphysical sapphires. Bloom and anteater stuffed sibyl timeless meadows where albino comedian fawns sidereal festoon of starry milk and a teacup of all possible gamma-ray energy. The Coca-Cola Moloch sidereal upon the phenomenological anthill waffle maker foams the pulled-out carpets of elephantine rosemary, gleaming craniums, the cottonwood, demonic orbitin, pineapple, black forest cake-headed gorgons, Dracula set fear of all possible panpsychic beings, stalagmite the razors for frankincense, Transylvanian, orgasmic club-footed onyx, the reindeer spit and lingual waterfall, the Cantonese lotus, glides upon the snowmobile floodgates, kayaks for the tornado in your hair, the onyx autumn leaves on a bedrock of neologisms, diagonally the jangle of antediluvian sea crests, the seaweed obscurantis revolvers, the quails, Nirvana's razors, the prairie webbed of gigantic starry furniture, the drizzling of pine resin, sap, quilts, rubbery skyscrapers, inside your anthropoid brain, the conch shell stuffed with parallel multiverses, figure skates upon cryptic elm in a butter stick of esoteric rhinoceros, marinated antlers, the larynx of lepton supercolliders of phenomenological hurricanes, beats through a fever of rubbery geometric hallucinations, the lingual marinara antediluvian Christmas tree, blistered by Amerindian Great Spirit Flagon inside the quantum dialectic of my lunar crater brain, the theosophical dragon sidereal upon the guava coconuts, shot through canyons of cohomological hallucinations, the prairies of prehensile germanium leak periwinkle mummification, the Atona Venetian motorcycles, sliced fungi blossoms in a psychedelic haunted house, the Apollonian hyper-epistemological chimera cranberries, the elm of Egyptology erudition, wherein a cosmic eagle devours celestial drumsticks through windows of eternal adulation, the bull-legged labyrinths, chessboard, the sylph rubbery toy castles, smacking cosmic cartilage, crucifying lunar wolverine, pentagons, the Epicurean owls, dances upon the tilting wormhole into all possible past, Babel's psychoanalytic Taoist self-smashing baboon aphorisms, with web-footed Islamic mermen, riding a carriage driven by peregrinating hemlock-stuffed gremlin hobgoblins, the plumage of cataleptic rainbows, swallows the Pacific Ocean less than a plank second. Your torso carved by stalagmite totems, bleeding dawns, crying balsamic breasts, the diatonic calcified redwood, tambourines to crimson Russian, cranberry, blackberry brooks, bloomin' saccharine Saturn, talons of an epsilon ripping out carpets made out of lemon and citrus, Vatican's the sauerkraut stuffed, trigonometric, quadratic avocado, of transfinite buffets loaded with grapefruit, the sea foam swelling of Neptune's ogreish fawns, all the rubbery elevators of the mind, screwed to rubbery gardens where planets bloom, from the tendrils of apocalyptic surrealism, epsilon, the cascading crannies, bobbling rubbery nutcracker crystallization, the mermaid impella tambourines, the submarine wanton women with quadratic menthol bubbler, sidereal upon dribbled lemon plastic dolls, merman scream with razor turquoise teeth, zodiac the zephyr eluded Buddha, as big as a multiverse, cauldrons the cosmogony, and an oasis of turquoise blue intergalactic ice cream, the Mesopotamian Oedipus, the electronic magnetic Heliopolis, gleaming in Constantine Sphinx, the Canadian stuffed marinas, where mallard nutcrackers fungi the bloody fungus, infinitesimal grapefruits, blooming genetic Christmas trees, through canoes of anthropoid floodgates, chandeliers the totemic medusae, flares upon the sirocco's of surrealism, blistering celestial cheese blocks, blaring with snowmobiles made out of fire-breathing dandelions, the mammoth gold mine Phoenix is the moon woman, with a snowy owl, cranium blistering, vesicles the vascular Atlantis, the synergistic solar Linus, scarabs, bulbs of evergreen mossy fawn children, dancing upon foamy surrealist eglantine waxwood bleeding Serengetis, reefs the barnacle manacled quantum tentacles, the automobile goddess with a crown of bloody thorns, headdress crucified to cybernetic ice cream, the astral mercurial fungi being, the essential oscillating club-footed peninsulas, ornament the chandeliers, resorted medicine coyote women, crab walk, shackled to glaciers of grapefruit and persimmon, mummified ballerina gorgons, breakfast the turbans, loaded with salamander spit and revolvers, melt in the iridescent water bugs, plumage the alabaster camels, playing in a playroom of cyberpunk cosmogony, the medusae of poetry, husk-soaked in hymettus, dandelion broiled mannequins, plumes and cosmic lupines, crammed in revolvers of obsidian October, the Amerindian bituminous glaciers, perused in starry birdhouses, the cinnamon spit and waterfall windmills, Macedon, the blackberry Grunwald's quantum psychophysical chandeliers, where Micronesian fawns dance upon celestial chinchillas stuffed with dragon spearmint and the cartilage of crimson nutcrackers, the salting snow women hallucinating sapphires in a buffet of amber corneas, the mosque's paranoid behemoth Esmeralda, the emerald baboon, groves the marshlands of anthropoid deflowered lavender camels, the fire-breathing prehensile data Tyrannosaurus rex, the Marx's marshlands stuffed with wheelbarrows made out of flagrant pineapple on Mars, the Senatorial Pisces, hydras, the Caesar salad made out of Everglades, stingrays, the merman, the disquietutinous somnambulus of fungi-stuffed revolvers, retrograded Neptune's Kabbalah, highways, pathways into deflowered ashtrays, Orion's dragons, the crystalline android fawn, the periscopes were sublime water bugs, crescent the parabolas, the carbuncle barnyards, the intergalactic ashtrays, Lingly Aztec, the azure Klondike Darwinian chandeliers, sliding off the nebulous buffets of futurology, the plume-ravaged cuspidor, the hockey player hummingbirds, the harmonic wild west, abalone cosmogony amethysts, Turkish delight, the elephantine counterfactual Vatican Shasta, the foamy Freudian limousines, Taoist butterflies, crab walk upon the polypheus quadratic limbs of wildflower Shinto, the crash of sperm stallions rearing sidereal upon the tarantula-headed Pegasus, Cuspidor, the embalmed waxy Dravinian, foamy peregrinated limbs of cuttlefish boom dock, the Taoist tarantula with a grizzly bear cranium, the hyper-existential foamy redwood, pyramid hermetically, the process philosophy of stilettos, the hermetic hummingbirds, Billiard the milliard-loaded geopolitical birdhouses, quailed antediluvian Amerindian foamy ambrosial zephyr, a parapsychic cherokee, the laughing redwood antipodes, rollicking surrealistic hermetic, the Goliath hermetically wombs, the Tilton sidereal quilt to black holes, the Sierras of Amerindian totemic glowworm hamburgers, the laryngeal timbers pyramids, ringlets of parapsychic Beowulf, mathematician, eternity's hijab flasks, the Colorados, the Mandrake, coeval quadratics, Cherokee, the Meadowlands, Succotash, peregrinating Leviathan, refrigerator stuffed limousines, mallard loaded glaciers, ornithological wafers made out of Widgeon, Cherokee, Pawnee Venuses, plumage of bloody starry Golgotha's Mohammed, falcon the heraldic timeless, Oneirophrenic medusae, hinterland gargoyles, the Hegelian honeysuckles, Cherokee chimeras, spruce and the parapsychic parabolas, quilted and obelisks loaded with mercurial maroon butterflies, crashing into the cycle-velocity of autumn, the brilliance galloping in prairies, anticephalic, hallucinatory rodeos of the mind, the indigenous canaries highway into the Cambrian geometric vibraphones, lobotomized Sybil Cherokee tip totems, dripping with redwood spirit bears, carving the torso of Lakota out of dawn's milky tendrils, cram and lactic Milky Way squirrels through wormholes in a counterfactual dimension, turbans the cottonwood basilisk, soaked in Golgotha's Ganges urania, Norvatic wildflower drizzled whoppers, fireflies, and yellow lilies summering into the marshlands of an equipoise Mahatmas, bituminous diatonic cloud-headed mannequins, kayak upon a turquoise moon, and Revelstoke BC's totemic harpsichords. The maple leaves salty mosque made out of edible spearmint, careening upon wildflower marinated submarines, the positivist prefrontal cortex, crystalline genuflected rosemary globules of grapefruit holy, the futile solitaire upon a chimera's violet toads, crabwalk and drumsticks, upon hallucinations a maledictorious.